you for joining us on this edition of our podcast, The Conversation. Today's conversation is about something a lot of people like, especially Nigerians, football. Football, a lot of people believe that that's what keeps Nigerians together. If you go to a stadium or when Nigerians are playing, people are worried about it. And we have here in the studio a guest. He is a sports journalist, a broadcast sports journalist turned administrator. And you won't believe it, he is handling a team that has history in Nigerian football, history of 55 years. I'm your uncle Yakubu Tadi, and join me to welcome Ferdinand Mbo, General Manager, Mighty Jet Football Club of Jos. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I remember the slogan of Mighty Jet. Don't overmote it. Well, looking, how do you feel that handling this club with a rich history, producing some of Nigeria's finest footballers, Sam Garba Okoye, Samuel Amabo, and the rest of them? How is that? How do you feel any weight of going to begin to handle a team that has done so much for Nigerian football?
Not really. I'm very proud, be the general manager of Mighty Jets because of the rich history the club has. So to me, I think my life has just begun, taking this kind of responsibility. And talking about feeling the weight, when you're into a particular job, a particular schedule all your life, you find it easier, to operate. So that is my story. I've been in sports all my life, and beside that, I was the media officer of the club for like 13 years before I was elevated to becoming the general manager. So I've not really faced any form of strain, running the club.
Well, we shared a similar history.
Yes,
I was
sir.
PRO Plateau United and then also elevated to general manager.
Yes.
And when you're on the outside, you talk, and I followed you on your different, you haven't worked at PRC, you are now at JF, and
Yes.
the passion, the things you bring about talking about the administrators and things like that. With the benefit of hindsight, will you talk about those things you talked about and criticized? How do you relate with those things today?
Well, it's a different ball game. Though coming into the business myself, I have discovered that it's not always like that. One, then, but secondly, there are still changes that we ought to have made that we didn't make, and now we are trying to see that those changes I affected. Like when I came in, there's this tradition at Mighty Jet that if a player is on break, because the player is on loan, the player must not be paid salaries. So players who are in the club on loan are not being paid when they go on break. And I said it's not done anywhere in the world. The fact that you are on loan doesn't mean that you will not eat. So they said it's not your fault that you are going on break. Doesn't mean that you will not eat. And so government release funds for salaries of players, even the ones that are on loan. And those players will not be paid. And you returning the money back to government? No. Then why did you pay them? Well, what did you use the money for? So now we say all our players, whether you are on break or not, all our players, whether you are on loan or not, all our players must be paid during holidays. Because I don't know. Look at our sister club, Plateau United. The players that are on loan there during break, they are being paid.
Yes.
Why would our case be different?
I found that very strange to me.
Our case, so it was a very funny practice. But we have stopped it. Thank God. We stopped it. All our players are being paid, whether you are on loan or not. So long as you are a player of 90 Jets and during break, it's not your fault that you are going on break. It's not your fault. And we know NNL breaks is usually long. Sometimes our break take up to 5-6 months. And you keep the player at home. Some of them have families. You not pay them. You say because they are players that are low. It doesn't make sense. We have stopped that.
Well,
it doesn't
Mighty Jet was last in the Premier League in 2003.
Yes, 2-3, 2-4.
2-4, and then since then it has been one thing or the other. Some have come to term them as landlords for the NLM. But take us through the journey of your dream and plan for the team to bounce back to where it used to be.
Well, our ambition is to gain promotion to the Premier Division. That's our ambition. And that has been my sole ambition, as a matter of fact. And that is why right now, he decided to bring in uh, a well-grounded manager who has helped several clubs to gain promotion and has also taken Aqua United to the continent. That is Ered Okubo. He is the technical advisor of the team right now. And the mandate we gave him is to ensure that he gains promotion to the Nigeria Professional Football League. And we have seen his work ethics. And so far, so good. And what we have seen him do with the players, I think we have confidence that we're on the right path.
By the way, there has been too much changes in the technical department. Don't you think that it's also a problem? You're 2 years in the saddle, but you can count the number of coaches that have come in and go out. And the last one was Najib.
Najib has been there since. We didn't really make changes. What we did was that during the first year that I took over, I brought in Benadobe as the technical advisor. I went to his house. I told him the vision of the club. That I want to give younger players opportunity to play. That is the vision of the club now, and that is what His Excellency, the Governor of Plateau State, also wants. So we shouldn't work at cross purposes. That's why I was coming to his house. He agreed. So, but when he came in, he brought in players. Some of them have been playing in the Nigerian league for like 23, 24, 25 years. Some people have been there since 2002, 2001. He brought them in and he asked the younger players we scouted and brought in that they should go home and wait for their time. So I couldn't just take that. I now terminated his appointment before even the season starts. I think that is the only coach we sent away that season. Then we now elevated Abula Pepe to the main team, and we made him to be an assistant to Najee for that first season. So they were working together for the whole season. We now saw that like Abula Pepe was tactically brilliant, regardless of his age. So we now say, okay, let him be the head coach. In the other season, let Najib be his assistant. So that was what happened. Then at the end of the season, we were not satisfied with their performance, one. And secondly, towards the end of the season, we started hearing rumors and counter rumors about players collecting and managers collecting monies from opposing clubs because of these clubs are getting towards promotion and all that. So at the tail end of the season, yes, internal sabotage. At the tail end of the season, we now ask all of them, all the technical crew members to step aside, that we're going to call them back. And we now urge we now brought two managers from the feeder team, Coach Garba Bombers and Coach Festus, now to take charge of the last game against Barao FC. So when we eventually played out the goalless draw here. And before the season starts, we now contacted, as a matter of fact, we brought in Monde Yerima, who was part of the coaching crew that we had to step out. We brought him back, and we're in the process of bringing Najib back, which Najib himself is aware before he now got a job as technical advisor at Duma United. And so he has gone there now before we now brought in Ered Okubo. So if you look at it, it's just an internal. The changes we have been making are all internal. It's not as if we sack anybody apart from Benadobe that we sacked in the first instance, because he refused to work with the younger players. And these younger players he refused to work with eventually have become the best players we have in the team now. So them have even got international contracts.
When you mentioned it like Garba Bombers and people like they also have a link with Jet, right?
Yes.
The Jet Spirit.
No, we met them there, and it's not as if they are doing badly, so we can't just send them away. We met them there. The previous management brought them in. And, even the previous management met some of them there. Some of them have been there for like 15, 16,
Wow.
16 years as coaches,
Okay.
you know. And when the coach is doing well, they have not done anything bad, why would you send the coach away? And we have a lot of teams now. We have the women's team, Mighty Jets. We call them Mighty Jet Matter. We have the Youth 19. We have the feeder team that still playing the NLO. Now we have Youth 10. We have Youth 13, Youth 15, Youth 17, all boys and girls.
So how do you manage that? Looking at the huge number of responsibility for each grade with its peculiar needs.
It's just delegation of responsibilities. We put experts everywhere. That's also so one person cannot do everything. We have a very grounded technical director, sporting director, Johan Vincent. I know you know him. He was a scout while you were at the GM of Plateau United. He brought in the likes of Kadura Yinde and the likes to Plateau United then. So he has been working with me and is doing incredibly well. So the assistant general manager is also a coach, so he handles the women's team. That is Sally Sunaka and the MON.
Okay.
So we have a lot of people who are grounded in the job. That's why I say, if your life pattern is towards a particular area, there's no how they'll give you a job in that area and that you will not deliver. So
Let's
that's
get to
it.
talk about the paying staff. People have talked about Jos is a place that players are recruited. People from elsewhere are coming to recruit players. What is the pattern with Mighty Jets now? I remember vividly on different shows we have listened to you. You've talked about that, looking inwards and getting the best out of what we have on platform. How is it with Mighty Jet in terms of recruitment?
Yeah, what we did is that we got players. Most of our players are from Jos. Majority of our players are from Jos, and we decided to also look at, because we've already, our priority right now is to give the younger players opportunity. So we go to schools competition. That's how we got the likes of Okay Manuel, who is in Serbia now. That's how we got a one Boise Goodness, who finished secondary school this very year. That's how we got Ayuba Jafar. Though Ayuba Jafar was still in school, though we didn't get him from school, it was Coach Samson Siasia that recommended him to us. And I tell you, he's a wonderful, wonderful talent. He's 16 years old. He too just finished secondary school this year. Wonderful talent. I'm telling you, when we played at the Alan Cup, Gusu Alan Cup in Lafia, people were surprised when they saw our boys. And what can these boys do? But when the boys got into the pitch, some of them now were now motivated that they have boys like this, so that they don't have the courage
To give them
to give them the opportunity. Okay. But our boys like Ayuba Jafar was our youngest player in Lafia. But when we left the Alan Cup, 4 or 5 different teams were looking for him.
At the
4 or 5 different teams. Yes, at the Premier Division.
Are you holding on to him? Or
No, we are holding on to him. He's not our player directly.
Okay.
He came on loan from Siabon Academy. Samson Siasia that sent him to us. So everybody, we knew Siasia was not going to agree. So everybody that asked, we also give them Siasia's number. Call Siasia, is his player. But that boy, Nigeria will hear about him. Wonderful talent. Like, okay, my man that went to Serbia. When he got there, our coaches, this is a player that our coaches are saying is too small, we shouldn't use him. We had to force the coaches to use him. When he got there, the sporting director, one of the clubs in Serbia, told us that the last time they saw an African talent like this was 12, 15 years ago. I'm telling you, and he's just 18. He just finished secondary school last year. The truth remains that whether we like it or not, this game is for the young ones, for the youth. I see no reason why. Okay, why do you want to sell a 30-year-old now? You want to sell him to where? You can't make money from a 30-year-old now.
Certainly.
You can only make money from players between 18 and 24. So this is what we have to realize. And you have to, in those good old days, you see players from secondary school playing in the league, in Premier League, playing for the national team.
So
the late Stephen Keshi broke into the Flying Eagles team when he was in Form 3 at St. Phoebe's College in Lagos. Henry was with the same team. They broke into Flying Eagles the same period. But now we don't give. Though our system is not as good as it used to be in those good old days.
I know. I think you're a man of soccer history.
Yeah.
Going that route, you're going to talk more about the history of these things. But looking at Mighty Jet in the last 2 years, the last time, if I remember, if I get it right, Mighty Jet finished 5th. Barrow FC.
No, I don't eventually finish. Is it 6th?
Okay. But
No, we finished 5th. Yes.
Barrow FC got promotion from Wiki Tories. How tough is the NNL?
Kai. Pure drama. And there's drama in NNL. Heavy drama. Before the league started, a referee told me here in Jos that Wiki Tories and Barrow will gain promotion. I say, how about now? I say, madam, league never starts. League never starts. You talk this one. So at the time we were topping the league. Now we now slided to 2nd position. So at the end of the first stanza, I was confident that I was going to get the playoff because of the quality of players we had. And I told that lady, I said, so you say Barrow FC go get Premier League. See them now, they're this second to last. See us. But at the end of the bottom line is that at the end of the whole drama, Barrow FC still got promotion.
Are you suggesting match fixing?
Well, if I must be frank, I want to say we saw element of that. Though I will agree that the officiating this 10 was far better than what we had the previous season. But I saw element of that because why I want to say that I don't have evidence of match fixing, but our last match with Barrow, anybody that was at the stadium will notice something that was not just nice. The referee did not allow Barrow to score, did not allow Mighty Jet to score. I said the referee came with the mindset that this match must end in a goalless draw. If Barrow comes in, he will cut Barrow. If Mighty Jet gets closer, he will cut Mighty Jet. That was how that match was till the end of the match. Because definitely they knew if the match ends draw, Barrow will get to the playoff. Definitely. And the match ended draw, Barrow got to the playoff. I'm not accusing the referee, but the referee really, I have not seen that kind of thing before in my life. You be cutting the away team, you cut the home team. That was what happened throughout. You know, and I believe he did that because he didn't want to offend anybody.
But perhaps that was the executive plan.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. With the benefit of hindsight and the 2 years and what has happened, how prepared is Mighty Jet for the new season?
So the truth remains that the kind of team we have now is far better than what we had last season. So if what we had last season was better than what we had the previous season, then that means we are moving. Because our team now is better than what we had last season. And my happiness is that we promoted about 8 players from the feeder team. 8 players from the feeder team. And if you come and see the talent we had, we have one 18-year-old Fulani boy, Mumtaz Mohammed. I've not seen a talent like that in a long while. You know, and if we didn't give him an opportunity, we won't know how good he was. Because when we took him to last year, he was a star man. So that's why I want to encourage other clubs also, even schools. Let's really encourage our young lads because you don't know what your kid has, the kind of talent God has given to your kid. We have talented people everywhere. Talented. Now we have a basketball team. We are playing the competition at the end of this month. You know, because we discovered that we shouldn't just restrict ourselves in one place. If we have funds, we'll go to every other sport. We have openings. We've gone to Europe. They've told us, please, do you have boxers? You can get good boxers in your place. Please bring them. We need boxers. They've told us, do you have basketballers? Do you have people that will play hockey for us? When I was in the UK last year at the International Sports Convention at the Tottenham Stadium, someone approached me and told me, please, if I can get him long distance runners, that he will be very happy. That he is the head of sports in one of the universities in the UK there. That they need long distance runners to represent the schools in long distance conditions. So because of this, we have to diversify and see what we can do. I told him, well, this is not my part, but I will introduce you to someone. I gave his number to the director of sports at the Plateau State Sports Council, Professor Ezra Kuden, because I know that's his field. You know, so we have a lot of talented children, and it's our duty, it's our responsibility to ensure that they get into the limelight.
Well, we'll take a break, and we are having a conversation with Ferdinand Mbung, the general manager of Mighty Jet Football Club International. Football club has made name for Plateau and for individuals, and now he's been telling us about talents that are being nurtured. So what is the future? How prepared are the future? What is the funding? What is the support base of Mighty Jet? That we shall be talking about when we come back. Conversation, a podcast of Media Temple Global, and our guest today is Ferdinand Mbung, General Manager, Mighty Jet Football Club International, and a very famous club. He has produced great players in Nigeria who has done us proud as a state and as a country. Well, he's been talking to us about the plan, the nurturing of talents that are about to explode on the, not just Nigerian scene, but the global scene. But let's talk about the club and the supporters. I remember in those days when Mighty Jet was going to play Plateau United, you find that the town is painted in colors. It was a carnival-like something. Yeah. And I had followed them when I was on the sports decks. When we were going for away match, it was the supporters who paid money. Yes. Hired a vehicle. Yes. And I go with them and come back. So what is the level of support from the fans?
Well, the sport base has reduced tremendously because of the fact that we're not playing the Premier Division. because I've met a lot of supporters, many supporters that don't come to the stadium. As a matter of some had to cross carpet to Plateau United because Plateau United is playing in the Premier Division. So that has been a big challenge. But for the supporters right now, there's massive orientation. We told them the world is moving forward. So this recalcitrant attitude of creating problems in the stadium, we have to stop them, and they are really, really complying. You know, but like that big support base, like in those good old days where the supporters who pay the players match bonus, the players traveling allowance. You know, now we don't have that kind of support base. But most of them have told us that once we get to the Premier Division, that we'll see them back, that they will come back. So I think that is really something that we really need to work hard towards getting. Once we get the ticket, some of these supporters will come back. Some of them are aging now.
Yeah.
But I've met 70-year-old, 75-year-old people, 67 years, elderly men who have told me they have given me the history of the club and said, once we get promotion, that we'll see them in the stadium.
Well, they need to come now. It's not when the food is ready. Well,
So
you need a lot of convincing.
They are very passionate about the club.
From the periods of Governor Jan, the state government started intervening and supporting Mighty Jet financially. What is the situation today?
Well, as Governor Jan started it, it was glory moment, that period from now. And we know how he started sponsoring Mighty Jets, that when he traveled overseas, all he hears is about Mighty Jets. That people talk even less about Plateau United, Mighty Jets. So Jan really did well to ensure that the club gets back to being sponsored by government. But from that period to now, I do not think there's any government that has invested heavily in Mighty Jets like the present administration. Governor Caleb Mutfwang has been really, as a matter of fact, he approved the signing of Samson Siasia as the technical advisor of the club. Just that we couldn't come to an agreement. That's why Siasia did not come eventually. So he really wants the best for us. Just about a month ago, he came to the training pitch, visited the players, and encouraged the players. I think that was the first time a sitting governor was coming to Mighty Jets training since Abdel Istabno in 1991. So he has really encouraged us. There's nothing we want that the governor has not given us. There's nothing. Let me just be honest. We have a boss now. The last governor that gave us a boss was Jonah Jan. During Lalong's period, we looked for boss and all that we couldn't get, but now we have a boss, and we have official vehicles from the state government, which has never ever happened before. It has never ever happened before. So the governor has really been tremendous at the level of support. He told us that the level of support is going to give to Plateau United, the same level of support is going to give to Mighty Jet, and so far so good. He has lived up to his words.
Well, do you feel challenged by that level of support from the government?
Of course. Once the government is supporting you, you have to deliver. You have to deliver whether you like it or not. Because if you don't deliver, that means that is a recipe for disaster for you as a person. You might be kicked out at any time. So that support is really a huge source of challenge for us to ensure that we get what the government wants. Only recently, they told us that whether we like it or not, we must gain promotion. That we must gain promotion. That even not for government, at least for the people. Just imagine that Mighty Jet gain promotion at this level, at this time now. Imagine what that will add to the CV of this present administration. Because the last time Mighty Jet played in the Premier League was under Suleiman Kwande as chairman.
Yes.
That was in 2003, 2004. So it's been long. That's over 21 years now. We really want to get back to the Premier Division. So we've seen teams that played the NNL with us in the Premier Division, and they are doing well. So who says we won't do well when we get there?
Tell us the name of the groups in your team, and then what makes you think that you pick one of the tickets?
Well, we played with some of these teams at the Alan Cup in Lafia. We know some of these teams. I don't think there's any team that is as strong as Mighty Jet right now in our group. We have Kada FC, we have Lobi Stars of Makudi, who only got relegated recently. We have Doma United. We have Sokoto United. We have Basira FC of Lafia. These are some of the teams that are playing in our group. So it was segmented, eight teams.
Okay.
So I don't really see a challenge then, though they say football is no mathematics. But with the adequate preparation, I believe we are good to go, sir.
So what are you doing now ahead of the season? how have you honed your team to
Yes,
face the
we have
challenge?
we had over 100 players during this training period. We have now reduced them to 40, including the old players. Let me just say 14 new players from the 100 that came. We got 14 new players. Then so the old players that are remaining. So we have now a total of 40 players in camp. We are going into a close camping from either this evening or tomorrow. We are going into a 10-day close camping according to what the technical advisor requested. That he wants to knock the players into shape before the commencement of the league. Now we are playing the star match, the first match, on the 8th of November in Lafia. That is with the Basira FC in Lafia. And so we are almost ready. We are almost ready. And I believe that uh, we are going to gain promotion to the Premier Division.
Let's come back to your sister club, Mighty Plateau United.
Yes.
It was a hell lot of rivalry. And, one team sabotaging the other, the
Yes,
other sabotaging
yes.
the other. What is the story today?
Now the story is different now because the same government. Why would we fighting each other? The same government, because whether we like it or not, the truth remains that Plateau United is the main club of government. The government is only supporting Mighty Jet. So if government is just supporting us and government is giving us almost the same amount they are giving Plateau United, then you want us to go and fight them. It's not possible. It's not possible. As a matter of fact, every home match now, our staff, our players, and supporters go to the stadium to support Plateau United in Plateau United's home game. That's a mandate, sort of matching order we give to our staff and supporters to ensure that they support Plateau. They don't just go there to support Plateau. They support the Plateau. They buy tickets. They buy tickets. Some of them will call that they don't have money to pay for gate tickets and all that. We'll give them money. They buy tickets, go to the stadium to support Plateau United. That is how it should be. Because whether we like it or not, the Plateau State government is responsible for both clubs, so we must be seen as one. I know it's quite different. You can't compare it as those days. It was pure rivalry. You see, Manchester coming to the stadium to support Plateau United's opponents. No, it's not like that again. That's changed drastically.
I witnessed that.
Yes.
Mighty Jet is indeed a brand.
Yes.
A brand of its own. Now, what are you doing to the brand to also upscale that brand?
Well, we've been trying. The publicity has been good. We have a 7-man media team, and we are also looking at trying to talk to individuals and corporate organizations to support us financially. Now for clubs to get money now, the best and easiest way is to sell players internationally. Because selling players to fellow clubs in Nigeria here doesn't bring anything. Sometimes you'll be trying to collect 1 million, 1.5 million from fellow clubs. But overseas, that's where the hard currency comes. Because even if you get 50,000 euros for a player, we know what 50,000 euros is. That is about 80, 90 million naira. So that is what we have been struggling at, selling players, getting money. That's what we have been struggling to do. And thank God it's beginning to yield dividends. But getting corporate organizations to brand us, to support us, has been difficult. We got a few of them during the Alan Cup in Lafia. Before then, we got some few supports, but it was nothing to write home about. That has really been difficult. So now we have concentrated more on selling quality young players overseas, to be able to raise resources for the club and also to support what government has been doing for us. Because whether we like it or not, government will not be there forever. Whether we like it or not, so we have to look for ways to also support ourselves and generate resources.
Well, it's good thinking, looking ahead and looking to the future. And with this quality you have talked about, the age-grade national teams, are they looking the way of Mighty Jet? Who have they come to pick? Or what is the problem hindering them going to the national team? The under-17, the under-20 recently have had some engagement.
Sir, with all due respect, I'm sorry to say this, but the age-grade national teams right now have become business centers where coaches collect money from agents and wealthy individuals in Nigeria to put in their children and their players on the side of the agents, even if they are not good enough. Look at the embarrassment we had at the Under-20 World Cup in Chile. That is not the best Nigeria can offer. We all know that is not the best Nigeria can offer. Morocco won the Under-20 World Cup, their fellow African side. Meanwhile, Nigeria have richer history than Morocco on the African continent. As a matter of fact, we felt that we are going to have better performance. But no, because we don't have the players. You know, Okema Emmanuel is probably one of the best midfielders in Nigeria today. He went to the under-17 camp. They didn't allow him to train they didn't even allow him to train. I had to confront the coach myself, Manu Garba. And I said, what are you doing there? I sent a player that I know is one of the best in Nigeria today to you. You didn't allow him to train. He said, no, it's a lie. But I'm telling you the truth, sir. That was what happened. It's okay. When they come out from Ghana, I should bring the boy back. I said, what if you go to Ghana and you don't qualify? And that was what happened. He didn't qualify for the African Under-17 Championship. So that's what they do now. We don't pick the best players anymore. Because we are all compromised. So that's the problem now. That's the problem. As a matter of fact, someone told me that I have to pay 8 million naira for Kema to play at the Under-17 African Cup of Nations.
Pay to who?
To them, to the coaches, the coordinators of the team. They have to pay 8 million naira.
Perhaps is that why we're not doing
So
that?
I told them I was not going to pay. I'm not going to pay a dime. I told them I was not going to pay anything. The same Okema Emmanuel, sporting director at Red Star Belgrade. When they spent the other, he asked, why is this boy? This boy is this good? Why didn't he play in our youth team? We just laugh because now we know what they are doing. We're just laughing at him. Nigeria is not Serbia. Yeah, it's not the best that play. You know, and the same sporting director at Red Star Belgrade that told me that the last time they had an African player that had such talent was 12, 15 years ago.
Well, with the talents you have and with what is happening, are you still confident that yes, you have a breakthrough season?
Yes, I'm confident that we'll get promotion to the Premier League. I'm confident. There's only one team that is getting promotion from my division, and that team is going to be Mighty Jet.
Well, on that note, we want to thank you most sincerely. And then as the season starts, we'll monitor Mighty Jets and also bring you back.
Yes.
So that you tell our viewer what exactly you've been telling them and let them see that, yes, this is what you said and this is where Mighty Jet is. And we also pray and hope that Mighty Jet gets back to the top because it's a global brand. It's not a local brand.
Yes.
And we want to appreciate your effort.
Thank you very much,
Mighty
sir.
Jet.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Viewer, that's the much we can take. And next time we'll bring you another interesting personality. Sports. Maybe we'll bring more of sports people to talk to us about sports. Goodbye and God bless.